spiritual leader pyramid. Egregore Spirit, how did it come to be? To answer this question, we must go to the beginning of the creation of the world. When God created our world, Buagiriya, He allocated a great spirit to make sure that everything in the world strives for development, perfection, and harmony. Then, God created Orilna, the Galaxies, and the Helionia, the solar system in which our planet is found. The Great Spirit from Buagiriya watches over all the galaxies of the world, including the Orilna galaxy, the solar system, and the Earth. He makes sure that spirituality is brought into the world for humans and other rational beings to live in harmony so that they develop and move towards self-improvement. The Great Spirit, through God's messengers on Earth, the avatars, transmitted all the teachings to Earth: Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Zoroastrianism. For this purpose, the Divine Spirit incarnated in different great beings in different times. In Jesus Christ, in Buddha, in Zarathustra, Zoroaster, in Mohammed. The Great Spirit manifested through them to lead people to light, to God, to development. Now, the Great Spirit sent down by God has manifested through the Guardian of Knowledge, and He is the Spirit of the schools Egregore. This egregore stands above all other spiritual egregores. Why? When great teachers died, their teachings began to evolve in a way that was favorable to the ruling power. Therefore, many religions are already quite far removed from spirituality and do not convey the true meaning of the teachings that were originally put into them. For example, when Christ died and the apostles were killed, some time passed and Christianity became the official religion. The teaching that Christ carried was knowledge that came from God. Christ was coming from the Great Spirit of the Egregore. When Christianity became the official religion of power, these teachings were perverted. How is it that the religion of love gave birth to the Inquisition with its brutal torture and monstrous executions of thousands of innocent people? This has happened because Christians have long since disconnected from the Great Spirit of the Egregore that was sent by God. And that explains the Inquisition, the Crusades, the indulgences, certificates of absolution which could be bought from the Pope for money. Just imagine, criminals bought indulgences that justified any atrocity, brutal murders, rapes, thefts. The Pope would find any criminals innocent as long as they paid money. The Pope himself was considered infallible, which supposedly gave him the right to bless wars, sending people on crusades, turning a blind eye to pedophilia and other perversions. In the state religions, the knowledge that came from Christ, from Buddha, from other great teachers was very much distorted and then already descended to a low level. This is why Christians are no longer really serving Christ, but the Christian egregore, which was formed under the influence of the Pope, under the leadership of the Patriarch of all Russia and other politicians. And this Christian egregore has a low vibration. The school's egregore has the highest vibrations because it contains the greatest knowledge without distortion, as it has been sent down by God. If we visualize the hierarchy of spiritual leaders as a pyramid, then at its top will be the Great Egregore, which is created by the sync light of the coordinators of the planet. There is a special place in the subtle plane where great souls dwell: Christ, Buddha, Mohammed, all those who have lived on earth as great teachers. In the sync light of coordinators, there are also great souls who are only to incarnate. From there, out of the subtle plane, they guide the evolution of the earth and the development of mankind. They are all conduits of the Great Spirit and form the Great Egregore. Out of the Great Egregore comes true knowledge from God. That is the school's egregore. All knowledge on earth is open to the Guardian. All religions and all teachings. He knows absolutely everything. And further down on the level below are the great teachers, Rajneesh, Aurobindo, Zarathustra, Buddha, Christ, and so on. These great teachers really carried the truth and transmitted to people the knowledge from the Great Spirit. But now, their teachings have lost their former power. The religions that have already lost touch with God and with true knowledge are a level below them. In essence, these are already political entities that have nothing to do with spirituality. At the next level are narrow offshoots of these teachings: Reiki, cosmoenergetics, various healing, philosophical schools. At the lowest level of this pyramid are understudies and self-taught people of all sorts. These are individuals who have read a few books, found something on the internet and started teaching others without having true knowledge themselves. They are disciples of disciples, or even people who have no connection to spiritual leaders at all. Their knowledge is fragmentary and distorted because they have somehow understood everything in their own way, have not fully analyzed it, have not grasped the knowledge globally, but see at best only one part of it. Often, they have a lot of different esoteric information in their heads, but they can't connect one thing to another. At this lowest level are most of the so-called healers, psychics, channelers, mystics, poltergeist seekers, fortune tellers. And so they go to heal, to teach, to bring people knowledge without possessing it themselves. They open courses, charge people money, and give them diplomas. It is very dangerous to learn and be treated by such pseudo-teachers and self-taught people. For example, a person who has declared himself a healer is trying to remove a disease from another person, and she moves on to himself or another patient who is unlucky enough to be around. Thus, the person who has come to such a healer receives the dark, dirty energy of the disease. Instead of getting rid of his problems, he acquires new ones. Another example. Many retreat centers have appeared recently who teach Vipassana, a special kind of meditation based on contemplation. From the impressions of a participant in one of these training sessions, a whole crowd of people came to Vipassana, and we all paid a lot of money to participate. They put us in cabins and said, "Now for 3 days, we just walk around the grounds and keep quiet." I don't know what knowledge that teacher had that he just silenced people without explaining anything. It was very difficult, but we walked and kept silent like that for 3 days. And on the 4th, we were blindfolded and had to spend the whole day not only in silence, but in the dark. At the end, we were all given certificates. To be honest, I went to this practice largely for the certificate, but when I got it, I had no understanding of what it gave me or what was even happening to me during those days. Many people are so at the mercy of society's programs that for the sake of a promised certificate, they are willing to travel many kilometers and pay money to false gurus who do not give any true knowledge. The desire to get a diploma is formed to us from childhood, when parents, teachers, relatives, everyone talks about the importance of higher education, about the importance of a red diploma, which is a symbol of excellence and academic prowess, about gold medals, certificates. But Christ had no diplomas of the kingdom of God, and he did not give any certificates to his disciples. Now, naive people believe various uneducated people, go to them to study, take these certificates, wasting their time, money, and effort. They get this pseudo-knowledge into their heads and carry it on. This is how false knowledge spreads throughout the world.